Most people think success is about grinding harder, waking up earlier, or wanting it more. But if that were true, every man who hustles would be winning, and we both know that's not the reality. The truth is this: there are men working twice as hard as you, breaking their backs every day, and still going nowhere. Effort alone has never been the formula. Success belongs to the men who understand the game beneath the grind. The psychology, the identity, the discipline, the emotional control. The invisible traits that nobody teaches, but every winner quietly lives by. This video isn't about cliches or motivation. It's about the real mechanics behind why some men break through and most men stay stuck in the same place for years. If you've been working hard but not seeing the results you expected, you're not lazy. You're missing the formula. Let's break down the part nobody talks about. The part that changes everything. Every man has two versions of himself. The one he believes he is, and the one he's actually capable of becoming. The gap between those two? That's where success is won or lost. Most men fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunities. They fail because their identity is outdated. They're still living with the mindset they built at 14, 17, 21. Before life humbled them, before heartbreak reshaped them, before responsibility demanded more from them. You can't build a new life with an old identity. But that's exactly what most men try to do. They want millionaire results with a minimum effort identity. They want discipline while still seeing themselves as someone who struggles. They want confidence while holding on to a self-image built from past rejection. They want emotional control while still believing they're the guy who reacts. This is the first, brutal truth of success. You don't rise to your goals. You default to your identity. If you see yourself as average, you'll work like an average man. If you see yourself as unlucky, you'll miss opportunities in front of you. If you see yourself as someone who never sticks to things, you'll subconsciously sabotage anything that demands consistency. This isn't philosophy, it's psychology. Your brain isn't loyal to your potential, it's loyal to your patterns. It would rather keep you comfortable and predictable than make you powerful. And until you upgrade the internal story you live by, no amount of effort will take you to the next level. That's why the first part of the formula is simple but brutal. Stop trying to succeed as the man you used to be. Start building success as the man you're becoming. Most men never break through because they spend their entire life running from the very thing that would make them strong. Pressure. They'll handle pressure when it's forced on them. A deadline, a crisis, a breakup, rock bottom. But they never choose pressure. They never step into it voluntarily. They wait until life slaps them instead of creating the fire themselves. And that's why they stay exactly where they are. Pressure is the gym for your character. Without resistance, your potential stays untrained. Without discomfort, your identity stays soft. Without challenge, your confidence stays artificial. But avoidance? That's the silent killer. Avoidance feels like protection, but it's actually poison. Avoidance convinces you you're not ready yet. Avoidance tells you you'll start tomorrow. Avoidance creates a fantasy where your future self magically becomes disciplined without earning it today. Every man has a dream version of himself, but the man who succeeds is the one who understands this. Your future self is built by the pressure your present self is willing to face. You want confidence? It comes from doing the things you don't want to do. You want discipline? It comes from showing up when nobody cares. You want emotional control? It comes from walking straight into situations that once triggered you. You want success? It comes from leaning into discomfort until your nervous system adapts to it. This is why pressure is the second pillar of the formula. Not chaos, not burnout. Chosen pressure, intentional pressure, controlled pressure. When you voluntarily walk toward the things that intimidate you, your brain begins to rewire itself. Fear becomes information instead of paralysis. Stress becomes fuel instead of a threat. Doubt becomes background noise instead of a barrier. Challenges become normal instead of overwhelming. Most men crumble under pressure because they've spent their whole life avoiding it. They're shocked when the heat hits them. But the man who trains under pressure becomes unshakable. Here's the truth most men avoid because it's uncomfortable. Potential means nothing. Proof is everything. The world does not reward the man who could be great. It rewards the man who can prove he is. You can have the mindset. You can have the pressure. But without evidence of execution, you're just another guy who talks a good game but lives a small life. Life changes when there is visible proof that you're not the same man you were last month. Not in your imagination, not in your intentions, in your behavior. A lot of men get stuck here because they don't realize something fundamental. Your identity isn't shaped by what you want to do. It's shaped by what you repeatedly do. If your actions are inconsistent, your identity becomes inconsistent. If your actions are weak, your identity becomes weak. If your actions are scattered, your identity becomes chaotic. But when your actions are consistent and aligned, something powerful happens. Your brain stops negotiating with you. Your excuses lose credibility. Your emotions stop controlling your direction. Your self-respect grows because you've given yourself evidence that you're a man of your word. And that's when you start winning in a way other men don't understand. Because most men think success is about motivation. It's not. It's about alignment. Your mindset aligned with your standards. Your pressure aligned with your growth. Your actions aligned with your vision. When these three are aligned, your life feels like it's moving forward even on the days you don't feel your best. That's what separates men who rise from men who repeat the same year of their life over and over. Potential whispers, you could become something. Proof says, you already have. Your job is to create so much proof in your discipline, in your habits, in your work, that your future becomes predictable instead of a fantasy. When you live in proof, confidence becomes natural, progress becomes addictive, and your results become inevitable. Here's the part nobody wants to admit, and it's exactly why most men stay stuck. They confuse movement with progress. They journal. They watch motivational videos. They plan. They talk about changing. They get excited about a new idea. And that excitement tricks their brain into thinking they've already improved. But none of it matters if you don't convert it into output. Most men don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because their effort is misdirected. They work hard in circles. They burn energy doing 15 small things instead of 3 crucial ones. They change their goals every 2 weeks. They quit when discomfort hits because they think discomfort means something is wrong. They're busy, but not effective. And the harsh truth is this: you can spend an entire year grinding and still end up exactly where you started if your effort isn't pointed at the right target. Success isn't built on how much you do. It's built on how much of what you do actually matters. If you want to break out of the cycle, you need one thing: focus. Not the soft version people talk about. The brutal, disciplined kind that forces you to cut away distractions, cut away validation, cut away anything that doesn't move the needle. Focus that says, No, I'm not going out tonight. No, I don't need motivation to do this. No, I don't care if nobody believes in me yet. Yes, I'm doing the same boring work again because it's building the man I want to become. The men who win aren't superhuman. They're just consistent in the area that actually matters. They lock onto one direction long enough to get traction. And once you get traction, life becomes unfair in your favor. People will think you're lucky. They'll think you blew up overnight. They'll think something magical happened. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't luck. It wasn't magic. It was the formula, mindset, pressure, proof, executed with a level of focus most men never develop. Here's the part every motivation addict ignores, and it's why their life keeps resetting back to zero. Success isn't hard to achieve. It's hard to maintain. Getting your life together for a week? Easy. Doing the right thing when you feel inspired? Easy. Improving for a month when everything is perfect? Easy. But sustaining the standard when you're tired, bored, stressed, lonely, unmotivated, or unsure, that's where men fracture. Inner strength isn't measured by how well you perform on your best days. It's measured by whether your standards collapse on your worst ones. And sustaining success requires one thing most men never build: identity resilience. The ability to hold your vision steady even when your emotions try to pull you off course. The ability to stay grounded when your life feels unstable. The ability to keep your standards high even when nobody is watching. Because once you start winning, life will test you harder. You'll get more distractions, more temptations, more noise, more pressure, more opportunities to self-sabotage. Life will try to pull you back to who you used to be, because that version of you is predictable, easy, and familiar. To maintain success, you need to become a man with non-negotiables. Your discipline is non-negotiable. Your growth is non-negotiable. Your mission is non-negotiable. Your standards are non-negotiable. This is what creates long-term power, not bursts of motivation, not hype, not intensity, but continuity. When a man becomes consistent enough, disciplined enough, and focused enough, something shifts inside him. He stops wondering, "Can I really do this?" and starts knowing, "I don't stop." That's the mindset that sustains success. That's the identity that becomes unstoppable. That's the version of you that becomes a threat to your old life, because he refuses to go backwards. The formula works, but only if the man running it refuses to break. If you watched this all the way through, understand something clearly. Most men will never apply any of this. They'll nod, feel inspired for 10 minutes, then drift back into the same patterns that keep them average. But if you're still here, that means you're not most men. It means you're hungry. It means you're self-aware. And it means you're building the version of yourself who doesn't need to be told twice. So here's your final reminder. Success isn't waiting for you. It's built by you, brick by brick, day by day, standard by standard. If today's video hit you, drop a comment with the part that slapped you awake. I actually read them. And if you're on this journey of becoming stronger, sharper, calmer, more disciplined, subscribe and lock in. There's more coming that'll reshape the way you see yourself and the world around you. And before you go, hit the like button. Not for me, but to tell the algorithm you're leveling up and want more content that matches your potential. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay relentless.